What's up, hooligans? Jay Hooligan. Excuse me.
Hooligan B.
I'm eating. This is a live lunch, actually. So,
But your lunch only consists of a granola bar.
hey, don't talk on my granola bar. Welcome to another live lunch.
Lunch.
Lunch-ish. Yeah. How do you find the people you want to work with? You know, and build your
Before we go in,
rockin' and sockin' 'em team. Yes, but before we go into that, be sure to hit the subscribe button, like this video. You can also support us at our Patreon, patreon.com/HideHooliganFilms. Become a hooligan yourself. You can also buy one of our RPG IRL shirts at thewanderingkillspin.com/shop. So, tea. Hold on.
it's been a really early morning.
It's
late morning for
I guess
you.
you can say. Yeah.
Early morning for me, and
trying
late
to-
morning-ish.
Troubleshoot technology. Let's just put it that way.
I don't know. I feel like it's been messing up. Like a lot of tech has been messing up lately.
Oh man, it's been ridiculous how computers, phones, everything has just been like haywire
Maybe
all
it's
over
like
the place.
it's AI attacking.
Oh,
Terminator.
yeah. Terminator.
The beginning
yeah.
of it.
The
Right.
machines are starting to take over.
Where's
Yeah,
John
nothing's
Connor?
real.
We gotta find John Connor.
Or did they already
Sarah
take him
Connor.
out? I don't know.
Maybe they did. They came back in time and they took him out. Like back in, they took Sarah Connor out.
Both of them? Sarah
did.
Connor to take out
Well,
John Connor?
Well, yeah, if you take out Sarah Connor when she was younger, before she had him, you take out both. Two
Yeah.
birds, one stone. That's smart.
They had to go after Sarah Connor, and then nobody decided to go after Sarah Connor when she was younger.
Like a kid.
Or like her parents. Or something.
So they're smart, they're just not that smart.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. Like,
Don't say that, the machines are listening.
So is it really when they say, like, our FBI agent, it's really just a machine?
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? It could be an AI machine.
I said that out loud.
Yeah, and you said it on Live Lunch. Good job. Alright, so today we're talking about building your A-team, your all-star team. Alright? We've been through a lot of teams over the years.
Did you say Rock'em Sock'em?
I said Rock'em Sock'em earlier.
Like the old robot.
Yes.
That stuck with me. I don't know why.
I said it earlier, but
Because I just imagine like, and you hit them and their head goes pop.
yeah. Well, it's just like everybody like working together on a team, right? So like we've been in a lot of teams, right, over the years. I'm a former Marine, so a lot of team building exercises were not fun. Growing up, so I've been through a lot of weird team building exercises that you don't normally go through. Also, but
Well, I'm a former antisocialist. I don't know
Okay.
if that makes sense.
yeah. But over the years, we've, especially in film itself, we've learned a lot of different perspectives. I guess you can say a lot of stuff going through all these various teams. And there's a lot of people that we still enjoy working with, and there's a few people that we don't. And how do you actually get to that point? Well, I know we had a live lunch. Was it last week or the week before?
Which
about
one?
the 3 worker archetypes. I think it was the week before. And it's just understanding, like, if you're a leader, how do you know if you're a leader? Or it was just like understanding the 3 worker types, so then you can understand where you can start putting people in place. And that in itself is like one understanding that is just one aspect of responsibility to becoming a leader, and then for delegating responsibility, because everything is about just getting stuff done. Like, that's the thing. All right, building your team, like finding the people that you want to work with, or that you're I can't say that well,
What?
I was gonna say that you're happy working with, but if you're happy, and you know what, get your work done. No, if it's a little bit different when it comes to building your teams, because there is this other aspect of, like I said, actually getting work done. All right. So when we talk about that, it's like, especially like when we started film school, had lots of friends that we had great times with, and some of them, like, just when you get into certain positions of power, nope, just do not do well.
I think, like, I don't know. Is that the same as, like, because I've been reading Relentless, like, he's like, oh, the PhDs, like, those people who hang around all the successful people just to mood boost, or, like, to party with them,
Yep.
But they don't actually contribute anything
Yep.
to it.
Yep. That's exactly what it's like. Exactly. If you haven't read Relentless by Tim Grover, it's a great book. Recommend it. Absolutely recommend it. But yeah, it's. Oh, what happened? It says it was disconnected. I have no idea. Again, technology has not been fun lately. So, okay, all right, they were fine. Anyway, so yeah, like trying to build a certain, like, the team, the people that you want to work with. It's a trial and error. There's a lot of trial and error that's involved in it. Okay, and that's okay. And like I said, so one of the things that we do is we work on shorts, so smaller projects, to see if people, one, to check their work ethic, and then 2, to see if we can create some sort of cohesive unit, right? And over the years, again, there's people that we've worked with in film that are no longer in film. Like, they've moved on to different industries because they wanted to test it out. Had a great time, and they just decided, oh, well, like one of our buddies, Greg, who he was our DP for a long time. He went on to go get his master's in photography because photography was his passion. So he went to film school to enhance his photography. He was our DP for a long time, for many, many years, and we're still great friends with him. And he just wanted to go and become, to fulfill his dream of becoming a photographer, so he moved on. But that's one of those things. It's like his work ethic from, he joined film school. We had our first semester together in film school, and our very first class, our very first quarter together. That's where we made office management. and it was me, him, and Christo in the one class, and it was like Christo had already been there, I think, but Greg and I were like brand new. We're like, oh, okay, never shot anything in film, didn't get the intro class. They're just like, go make a short film. We're like, we don't know how. So we had a lot of crash course stuff. Ended up being a really great production because again, he already understood cameras. He already had his DSLR and everything like that. But we found out very quickly like we had a lot of the same values. Hanging out with each other was great, and then we put the work in. You know, so what?
I just remembered meeting you guys, and I thought you guys had been friends for like years, and that you guys came into school together, and that's what I had thought.
No.
Like that was your guys' background, and then it slowly unfolded, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
We just met. But yeah, that's like one of those times where it's like, hey, you know, we were forced to work with each other. That's why. And again, school isn't for everybody. Film school is not for everybody. I get that. Do you need to go to film school? No, you don't need to go to film school. It's more of a personal preference. Pardon the shake on the camera there.
Shake.
Yeah, because I just readjusted it. If you feel like that's your best version of learning, you know, the technical side of, well, again, it depends on the type of film program that you're going into. Learning in a class environment, then go do it. Granted, again, that's what school is. You're paying for education. You're paying for experience in that way. Then again, that's not for everybody. I happened to pick that up since high school. I think high school was when I really learned how to utilize the school system to my advantage, and that's why I continued on. And again, since I'm a former Marine, I use my GI Bill, so it paid for itself. You know, so and that's something that I've always wanted to do, is get into film, right? Anyways, but again, we were forced in those environments, especially in a school environment, and we've done other films outside of school, obviously, because we haven't been in school for a while. I haven't been in film school for a while. Yeah, because we graduated. That's a good accomplishment.
Years.
It's been a few years. We started working in film school.
But I didn't meet you until
my second quarter. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had been there for a year already then.
Yeah, you had been there for a year, but I had previous credit from community college, so I guess I graduated before you.
Well, I would assume so because you started college before me.
Like I just said, I had community college credit, so I graduated before you. But that college credit was from years ago, dude. Years before that. Yes, you have up to, I think it is up to 10 years, at least when it's been a while since I've worked in the school system for colleges. I think you have up to 10 years for credits before they like expire, and you have to renew and retake the classes. So certain classes I had to retake again because they didn't count. But there were certain number of credits that, again, I had already taken. I had taken a ton of gen ed stuff. Like I said, and I don't know if you remember when I first went to community college, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I was all over the dang place. I tried out everything. I even tried out film for a little bit, film and acting for part of my major. But then I got into not physical therapy, personal training was the last thing that I got into on that, and then but I mean I went from like that to like computer programming. Geez, what other programs did they have? They had a ton of stuff. Psychology. I was all over the place over the course of like 4 years. No degree at that time in the first time. So 4 years, didn't get a degree. Had no idea what the hell I wanted to do. And that's okay, again. But if you are going to school, the recommendation is if you're going to school, know what you want to do. Find your major. If not, pick one sooner. Okay, that way you have a direction and you're just not like throwing money at a school. And that's actually one reason why I stopped, was because they bumped up prices. Like it went from, it used to be like $5 to $7 a unit.
What?
And oh yeah. Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. And then I remember it was over one quarter. They're like, guys, we're bumping it up to like $30 a unit. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll see you guys later. I'm out. I can't
But
afford
still,
that
that's
stuff.
cheap.
$30 a unit, yeah, but jump from $5 to $7 to $30, 30 to
I mean,
$35
yeah, I
a unit.
get
I was
that.
like, oh, okay. I guess I'm out. Anyway, that's a whole anecdotal thing. Just side story on that. That's my experience with school. But again, that you're forced into that environment in our film school to where we got to work with people, and we were forced to work in these smaller projects. And again, found people that we enjoyed working with. Some of them moved on. Some of them stayed in film and moved elsewhere. Some of them were, had great potential and just stopped doing it, or never actually reached the potential of what they could have been doing, right?
Yeah. But I'm trying to think about who else we talked to from there.
Oh,
That's
jeez. There's a ton of people that were there that we'll go into that later.
Greg.
Anyways, but that you were talking about Greg. I'm gonna give him a plug. Greg Carrig Photography. You can check out his work. He does really great work for photography.
Now he's going for his master's.
Yeah.
Or he's got his master's.
He's very
about to
close to
graduate,
get his
right?
master's. Yeah,
In
he's
photography?
working on that stuff. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Kind of back to the subject, 'cause that was a whole sidetrack on thing. But building your team, like understanding that certain people, like you'll not know if you're going to work well in a team until you actually are put in a team environment to understand, like, hey, we can work with you. So try to find that A team, right? Building your A team. It really has to do more than it has. Like it starts out with like, hey, you seem like a cool person, or you seem like a nice person. Might be cool to work with you. Great. But you have to get yourself into those situations where you're actually doing a project together, and you'll understand. And here's the weird one about it. People that do great, like there's a lot of people that do great as workers, right? So again, if you remember the old live lunch we did a couple weeks ago about the three archetypes, you have your techs, you have your managers, and you have your owners, right? And a lot of people do wonderful as technicians, right? They understand their job. They do it well, and they don't have to manage people, right? And they're not owning the project to make sure it's continuously moving forward. They just know how to do the work. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. You can still be a lead in that aspect as a tech, and to know your job, to know what you're expected or what you're expecting of everybody else who hasn't been there, who may be new, or who may be new to the team even. They may have other experiences that they're great with, but they're new to the team. And you can have them in that, like, kind of, I hate to call it a pseudo leadership position because it's still a leadership position, but like a lead position, right? And you can still have that and have them be leaders. Now in film, a lot of it is especially in like Hollywood, it's like a stay in your lane. Okay, whatever you're hired for, that's your job. That's why it takes like hundreds, if not thousands, of people to make films.
So it takes
Certain
millions of dollars.
millions of dollars to
films.
make films. Yeah, actually, that's another. Pay your people. Just pay people. Right? If you're doing it, if you're asking for, if your goal is not to try to pay people if you're an indie filmmaker and your goal is not to pay people in the long run, or to get to a point where you can pay people, like, change your industry. You're doing it as a hobby. Don't call yourself
Or step
like a
back and do
professional.
something else.
Yeah, don't call yourself an indie professional, any filmmaker professional. Like, you're literally just trying to do it as a hobby, right? Whenever you can get free, it's like, let's go to the hobby shop and just mismatch there. But no, you're asking people to take time out of their day, and we've known people that do that too. Who want to do who try to do the free all the time. They pay themselves, and then they take advantage of everybody else. There's quite a few people that we've actually worked with like that.
Yeah, well, it's not only that, it's also, if you're treating it like a hobby, you're not putting in the work. You're putting in the work whenever you can. Like,
Yep.
It's just like, oh, I have downtime today, or whatever, and you're not treating it as a profession, and that is something different to people who are professionals, You're not really saying that you're on the same level, but just like somebody who's a hobbyist and somebody who's a professional, right?
Hmm.
Working together can be difficult,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh yeah. Um. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing is like when you're, it's almost like time management, right? When you're delegating to someone and they're like, yeah, I'll do it, and then they just never ever get to that task, like it can be extremely frustrating, right? But aside from that, it's like again that doesn't take away from you guys having uh, like a good relationship as like friends,
Right.
right?
That's separate though.
Which is why, yeah,
Should be separate.
which is why it's like again we've met a lot of great people that again when that was the point I was trying to get to. With great people that work well as techs, they work well with instruction. You give them instruction, you delegate instruction, and they execute it well. Okay, and then it comes to a point where, and this is the other side to it. Here's let me put it this way. This is probably the best way to do it. I'm all over the place still because I'm still sort of waking up. So, yeah.
One of us has to be here.
One of us does, yeah. Here's a scenario, okay? You meet a group of filmmakers. Seem like really good people. They have a great vision for a film they want to do. Or, no, let's put it like they come together to brainstorm an idea. Hey guys, we should make a film. We want to get into film. They're not hobbyists, so they're going to put the work in. And you're like, great, let's brainstorm. They pick your idea. Fantastic. Because it's your idea, they want you as not just a writer, but they want you to maybe direct it or produce it. So you are put in a position of leadership. Okay? You delegate to other people. You're an organized person, so you know how to manage people. You know how to manage project and own a project. So you're able to delegate properly. Do a great job. And the people that organized that were actually like they were doing a lot of the groundwork. They're doing a lot of PA stuff. They're doing the runners. They're running. They're doing the prop making. They're doing things that are not lead position. Right? They're not your heads of department, excuse me. All right? Fantastic work ethic. You guys have a fantastic shoot. You prove yourself as a leader and you're moving on. You guys want to do something else. All right? The next project. Hey, we still want you as a producer on this one or a director. But these people that were running great as technicians want to move up. Like, hey, but I kind of want a shot at being a DP, right? Or doing any other department head. Hey, great, your work ethic was fantastic. Let's move you up. Sure. I mean, and that's the thing is like we've all seen it as like we came in all together, so we should all grow together. Right? We gave you the opportunity, so give us the opportunity. Sure, let's do it. And then you get on set. And even with that just little bit of power, you find out that they are not managers. They don't know how to manage people. And they're absolutely horrible in positions of power. Alright? That's happened to us way more times than we'd want to admit over the years. Just ridiculous. And again, it didn't take away from previous projects that we had a great time with, hanging out with them outside of even just rap parties and stuff like that, just hanging out with people, right? Didn't matter about any of that. It was literally like, hey, what the heck is going on? I remember there's one time we had it was already a few years ago where this talked to this kid for like months, like he'd call your
fancy film school?
Yeah, your fancy film school. He'd call and it sounded like he had a lot of stuff that he had going on for him. Sounded like he was putting in the groundwork to do a lot of great stuff. We had a lot of similar, at least we thought, we had a lot of similar ideas in film and how to run a film set, how to run a story, all this other stuff. I even redid a lot of his script for him.
He was a yes man.
Yeah, he was a yes man. So he took advantage of a lot of stuff. But seemed like we were having a great time. We even went down. We drove to where they were at. Let's put it that way. We drove to where they were at for production. Already under the impression. Took a week
Paid
out.
for our own hotel.
Paid for our own hotel. Already was like, okay, well, you know what? Because we believe in this project, and it seems like you're on the up and up. We took our time, money, energy beforehand and during production to just come out. We didn't have to, but we ended up driving out, and to find out, dude was a tyrant on set. I mean, that's like Michael Bay level. Let's put it this way: not Michael Bay, but not in a good way. Like to get a project done in that way.
Not visually, Michael Bay with this film.
Tyrant wise, like just absolutely
personality.
Horrible. Personality,
Michael Bay.
Yeah. Let's put it this way: halfway through, because we were there for only one shoot day. They told us that they would have 3 shoot days done, at least 3 days shoot days done. So like I said, we took out we ended up like a week out. They finally told us, oh yeah, we'll have 2 to 3 shoot days that will be there, which would have been, I think, almost half the shoot, and then we would have come down later on. They only had one. So they told us because they told us it was hard schedule days, right? Mm-hmm. And they were not. They ended up saying, oh well, we can't because we're on set. We're supposedly renting out their time, and then all of it was a bunch of bull. Find that out. Anyway, but what I was trying to say was halfway through the one day of production that we were there, dude lost his voice from screaming so much because he was so frustrated. Instead of and it had nothing to do with motivating people, or getting people to that. Every person on there, on that set, hated being there.
Well, it's like the whole saying, "Don't be a butthole," right? They say that a lot in the industry.
Oh, in the industry? Yeah. Like, treat everybody with kindness because you never know who is going to be your boss later.
And he was throwing a tantrum.
Dude.
This guy was older than me.
Tantrum! Yeah. Super tantrum, dude.
I wanted to get a spray bottle like Stitch.
Yeah. Yeah. That dude, again, it was spent months helping.
Then didn't he not credit people the correct way?
Yeah. He didn't credit me, in fact, because
you and somebody else too.
Oh yeah, there were other people he didn't credit correctly because it was all just his film buddies. Like, no, they worked on it. I'm like, dude, I did full on versions of it, and you took aspects of my versions into yours. I was But that's a whole other deal with
but the whole point
proper
of that
credit. That
story though is just like we did not have the same vision. We initially had the same vision of where how we would want to work with each other, because usually when it comes to working with somebody you have to be able to share that vision.
Yes, and that's part of having your A team. Somebody
can lose that along the way, and then
correct
not being able to relate to each other. It just
which again, what sucks is he was a producer, he was a director, he's holding multiple owner roles.
Did he act in it?
No, he didn't act in it. He's owning multiple owner roles, right? And because of that, and because it was for his school, whatever, it's like he thought that he could just be a tyrant, and that's what's gonna get him ahead in life. And No. Like,
he thought he was special.
Yeah.
But they didn't teach him that in this fancy film school.
Yeah, they didn't teach him a lot of stuff in this fancy film school. But again, it's just that. Let's put it this way: we could be totally like a-holes, buttholes on set if we wanted to, but that doesn't get work done.
See, like, I want to be able to motivate people to do it. Like, I want to be hard on them to make sure that they do it, but I don't want to be like, I don't want to have to be super hard on you.
Yeah,
if I have to be super hard on you, then we're not
going to gel. Yeah, we're not going to gel well. And that's the thing. It's like being hard on somebody doesn't mean screaming your head off in front of everybody over one little thing. That be like, hey, do it again. Hey, let's do it again.
That's crazy.
And then it's like, hey, have that conversation again. And then if you're in a position of power where you're delegating, say like as a director, remember as a director especially, you're the one leading the ship. The
what?
moment the ship,
Oh.
not I said it correctly.
Ship.
Ship. Yeah, you're the one leading the ship. You're the one with the vision to drive everyone into this direction. Hey, you can't see it yet, but I'm gonna help lead you guys there. You guys put in the work. That's that mutual understanding. The moment you have, when people start losing that vision because you're busy screaming at them, doing over little stuff like, like ridiculous stuff, even if it's just like doing it again and again and again, but you're just like, you're losing your voice on your first day of freaking filming. You start losing, people start losing hope in that vision. Like, dude, we don't even want to be here. What the heck? We're hard workers. We don't want to be here. Your techs don't want to do the tech work.
And it's like that type of negativity on set. It bleeds into other crew, cast and crew.
Yep, and people talk.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
I was gonna follow that up with something.
Well, we've had people go like, "Oh, yeah, people can work for a-holes." I'm like, "Yeah, they don't have to."
You can, but you don't. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have to. This dude wasn't paying anybody.
You have.
He's
a
paying
choice.
paying himself and his buddies, his film buddies. He didn't pay anybody else.
His already well-off buddies.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that.
Yep. They were paying them.
But not any of the people who were putting in all the hard work.
Yep, we never got reimbursed for coming down. Oh, great, man. Yeah, you're coming down. I even covered down and pulled on multiple roles because he thought, because certain people didn't show up. And I filled certain other roles, which I didn't get credit for, I don't think. I didn't get credit for, even though it's on the call sheet. Didn't get credit for that. Didn't get paid for any of that. Nope. No, nothing, man. And that's the thing when you're a leader in a leadership position. If you don't appreciate the work that people do, especially as a director, you can just go yourself.
I'm sorry, what does mean?
Yeah, you know what means. But yeah, that's a whole other side of it. It's like, dude, you want to have this vision, but no one's gonna want to work with you if you're just gonna be a tyrant about it. All right, and that's a whole other side to it. Like that, in trying to build your teams, like I said, that's why I said it's a lot of trial and error. Hey, for this project, I'm gonna have such and such or so and so do this, fulfill this department head because they had a great work ethic. Fantastic. Whether they do well or not, that's on them and you guys. And again, as long as you're continuing to grow and creating an environment where they can try to shine through that, great.
And it's just like, I don't know, if they don't really know but you can assist them and they have a great attitude. I'd love to work with those people versus somebody who does their job well but has a very bad attitude.
Yep. Absolutely. Like, let's put it this way. There's another story that we had where
we have multiple stories.
So many stories, guys. Again, this just comes with experience, time and experience. And there was one where he was a great friend, hanging out. We worked on multiple projects. He was a tech. He was a cam op. He was an owner-operator. I think he still is, for his gear. And then he wanted a DP. I was like, hey, fantastic, dude. Let's get you in. There was a particular shot. He's like, no, it has to be a goal. I want this golden hour shot. And I was like, okay, all right. It's not on the shot list, and we're running on time, like a short time since we rented out this place that we're shooting. And he would not budge until he got his golden hour shot, which it was funny because when I finally edited, I think it was we were still in a rough cut for our instructor, and he reviewed it and he's like, yeah, all of it looks great except this one shot, and it was his shot, and I thought that was funny. It's funny as hell, but dude would not move on. Then he ended up taking like 12 takes on the thing. I'm like, dude, you're not gonna get your shot. It was not planned. You didn't think this out. You didn't.
Well, of course
just
he didn't.
doesn't
He
look
didn't
well.
give me the equipment list until week up.
Oh, that was different. That was totally different. But again, like giving people. Yo, showing the work ethic when you're in a position of power, people's egos start getting in the way. It's like when your ego starts getting in the way, the work starts to suffer. Okay? And we're all about the work because the work is what creates the product. Alright? Now that doesn't mean like everyone has to be all like happy-go-lucky on set and you know, poop out marshmallows that you could share with each other. And it's like, yay!
I don't think you want those marshmallows.
No, you don't want those marshmallows. That's what I'm talking about. It's not. It doesn't have. You don't have to put on a facade. However, your focus should be on getting the work done, getting the work done in a quality sort of manner.
That should be priority.
Priority from day one. That's why we took, dude. That project we had like 7 months, 8 months of pre-production, of planning and everything like that. It's like, dude had plenty of time, like that equipment list, had plenty of time to get that together, and he ended up giving it to us
week before.
The week before.
And then he wanted to rent something last second.
Yeah, anyways. Then he changed it. And I'm like, oh.
Well, anyways, priority means priority for everybody involved.
Yep.
Your work is priority, whether you're your head, or you're just tech or management or what.
Yep.
Your work is priority.
And communication is huge, anyways. But the whole point is like, you don't have to, you know. Not everything has to be sunshine and rainbows on set. You know, it's not. It's never gonna be.
But what if it required in the script?
Well, that's the facade of film and you know, and storytelling. However, again, you don't have to have everything sunshine and rainbows. But as long as you're focusing on the work, you're fine. As long as you're still making your day, you're fine. Right? You don't have to be a tyrant about it, for one. And if your ego is in the way of like, oh, I'm a DP now, I need this shot for my reel, like, go kick rocks, bro. And it's funny because, like I said, when your mentor's the one who's like telling you that's whatever shot that was horrible, like, dude, oh, I remember that because I thought it was funny and I didn't say anything.
Do you remember working for a guy who was like, we're too good?
Oh.
To be working for? We need to.
You guys need to ramp. You gotta ramp your guys back because you're too good.
Too good.
What? That it's in another learning environment, but
different
different group, different
experience,
management and experience. Tell you guys to ramp back. Cause they're too good.
This was a studio experience.
Yeah, you're cramping my style because you guys are too good. Like, excuse me. What does that mean? How does that even work at all?
Too good at
dude.
Working.
When your ego gets in the way and you're in a position of power, again,
I can't believe that still. It's against me.
It's funny. It's
Who
funny.
Who says that?
Yeah. Egomaniacal tyrants. That's who say that. Anyways, but that just goes right back into trying to find the right people. So, really getting to that point of trial and error, get on sets, you know, talking about things. You know, I was saying, words are nice. Right? Nobody cares. Nobody cares in the end if this is all you're doing. Right? You actually have to walk. If you say you're going to walk the walk, then you have to walk the walk. Do the work. You're gonna find out. Then you'll know for sure. And this is another thing why it's one of the worst sayings in the industry. Fake it till you make it, guys. Like, no.
Did you just say words are nice?
Yes, okay. I said words are nice. But like the another saying I hate hearing all the time, it's like, hey, fake it till you make it. No, dude, don't fake it till you make it. Be straight up. If you're straight up, you're like, hey, do you know how to do this? And you're just like, yes. And you don't have no idea, and it's like a complicated thing. Don't say that you can do it. If it needs to, especially if it needs to be done right there. I'll always say, you know, anytime that I don't know about something, that's another thing. That's one of my own pet peeves, but I understand when people say it. It's like when someone says, I don't know. I'm okay with people saying, I don't know, but I'm always of that person of like, if I don't know, I'm going to find out. So if you ask me, can you do that? It's like, I know about it. I just don't know how to execute it yet, but I'll find out how. And therefore, it doesn't just shut the door. I don't know is a zero case, is a zero sum. I don't know.
And it moves
and
forward,
then what?
right?
Yeah. Huh?
with that, what you're referencing, it helps you move forward.
It helps me move forward
Yeah.
personally, and it helps move the project forward. So it's not like it's a
It's like, okay, no, and then that's it.
yeah,
Now
no,
what?
that's it. Well,
Now
then,
what?
Then it's like
Didn't you bring it up
especially
last
yeah.
time?
Now what? Yeah, and then it gets into the point of like, well, then why are you even on this team? If you don't know, hey, that's fine, but it's a zero sum. You haven't added anything to make sure that the project can continue forward in a position, whether you're an owner, whether you're a manager or tech. Okay, now what? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that's the word. It's like I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that I don't know. Like you actually admitting you don't know something versus like I don't know. Like
Yeah.
you don't know what to do after that. It's like well, that shows us, really right up front that maybe you're not the best person to work with. Okay. But those are the types of things that we work for. And again, we have certain systems in place, like our after action. I think we did one way back when. I think it was Stuck on Wins and After Actions, where we purposely put ourselves through an after action report after a project or any major portion of production. So then we invite everybody on the team. It's usually open to everybody. And we try to pull in as many people, and it's amazing that people don't actually take part in it, to find out what we can improve on. What did we do well? What can we improve on? And what are we going to do next time to make sure that those things that we didn't do well are done better? Right? And again, just... And
That helps build your team.
It absolutely helps build your team. And the thing is, though, it's amazing to see how many people don't actually follow through with that. And we've done it every project. And the ones that don't follow through with it are typically the ones that have the most ego into it and don't listen or off on we call OFP, their own frickin' program. Those guys are usually the ones like off in La La Land with their egos in place and their egos lead it rather than the work. And it's amazing because at any one point throughout the production, that ego can come into play. Like you could start off like, okay, you're gonna have a rough first day. Usually your production days are day one is always your roughest day. It's gonna be like that, but it's supposed to get better over time. And you could be getting better over time, and then all of a sudden, like that ego, like, you guys ready? Boom! I'm here. It's like it happens a lot, man. And when your ego is more important than the project, that's when stupid things start to happen. Okay, and then your A team starts becoming a B team and a C team and an F team, right? Or like a never team, because there again it gets to a point where if it happens too many times and too many incidents, especially over the course of time, right? Now you're on a track of, well, I guess we're gonna respectfully move on because you kind of showed your butt. You showed us your butt, and we don't like looking at your butthole. Your butthole.
You mean you show somebody your butt, they don't want to see it?
Crazy. What is it? It's called presenting. It's like, no. I don't care about that.
I call it a way to impress my what's the word?
I don't know.
It's not the people that hire you.
I don't know, but again, that kind of goes back to that words are nice. And when you get into an owner position, again, words are nice. It's all about the work, man. It's all about the work. So, like that's one thing. As owners, you're always trying to find a way to make something happen. And if you're not gonna do it, you're gonna find somebody else who does. And honestly, even as ourselves as owners, and we've talked about this a lot, it's some things that we've failed at before is focusing too much on building the team that we forgot about, like, just pushing for the project, right? Doesn't mean that we don't get projects done. Like, we are still great, fantastic workers with that. Like, that's a little bit of ego talking as well, but we put in the work. and that's something that we strive for. We always over deliver. Like just recently, I did. Somebody asked me to do sound design, and I ended up doing VFX for them too, without them asking. I just did it because I had the time. It only took me a day, and it was a very simple thing. But always over deliver in that, you know. And that's also a note for people that are working on set, especially if you're starting out from a PA position and you're trying to take that route to PA to build up into the department that you want, and then to find the teams that you're working on, and then to want to gain the experience, and two, to move up to what you want to actually do in film. Always over deliver. All right. Someone asks you for something, get them maybe that plus something that enhances that experience.
That's how you kind of stand out.
That's exactly how you stand out. You don't want to be the guy. You don't want to be the one who it's like, oh well, maybe, you know.
You're like, yeah, he was okay to work with. I mean, you can rehire him, or you want to be like, oh yeah, he was pretty awesome. You know, I really want to rehire him or her.
Get that dude back on set. And dude,
is this person available for?
That could be a guy, girl. It doesn't matter. I say dude anyway for anyone. But yeah, exactly. The way that, especially for film, before you even see the job postings, you know, for the most part, they've already asked before the job postings go out to the public. They've already asked, who do I want to work with? This guy, that girl, etc. This team. Go. They already know that before the job postings go out. So when you see all these job postings going out, like, oh, hey, this is a new gig coming up, we're looking for a DP, guarantee you if they're not absolutely green and have worked in the industry, they've already asked everyone that they have, and all their friends and their teams that they know they work well with are busy working on other projects. Guaranteed. Right? Or they're busy working on other projects, saying that they're busy working on other projects because they didn't want to work with that dude, or because they might be a tyrant working on set in a leadership position. So again,
I'm sick.
Yeah, it's like calling in sick to work. Like, oh yeah, I'd love to help you, but no.
And then you see them posting on their own stuff, and you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, that's one of those.
I see a lot of those. It's like with other people, and they tell me about it. And I'm like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, at what point do you guys stop, like, meshing?
Yeah.
You know?
And again, that's a trial and error. You're not going to know that, especially if it sounds like it's a great project that you're going to work on. Again, like that action group that was a few years ago that I drove like 2 hours to go meet up for film. Like, dude, I'm just going to go and see what they're doing. Brainstorm ideas. We'll pick the best idea and we'll run with it. Cool. And I had the honor of getting my idea picked. I'm like, dude, fantastic. I've been wanting to do this one anyway. And it's a short project. It'll be fun. It was a bit of comedy, you know.
When did you do that, by the way?
Like I said, it was like a couple
Before
years ago.
film school?
No, it was after film school.
It was after film school?
Yeah, I think it was like a couple hours north.
I thought you did it before I knew you.
Nope.
Oh.
And they took the idea that I was gonna do, and again, it was all about the dude running it. That dude running it, all about his ego. He didn't care about it. Words are nice, guys. We're gonna brainstorm and pick the best idea because we want it to be a group environment. Words are nice, man. Yeah, we brainstormed. They picked my story. I wrote it.
It's show, don't tell.
Yeah, show, don't tell. He was like, okay, now that and this was the first like red flag. Now that everybody has pitched their idea, I'm going to pitch my idea. And everyone's like, isn't that like Collateral? The movie Collateral? I was like, no. It's like, have you seen Collateral? No. Then how do you know it's not that? Like, dude, if you've not seen the movie, you've not seen the movie. So just be upfront like that. That's red flag, dude.
That
red
happens
flag.
a lot too, though. Not just him, but I've heard it plenty times with other people.
Yeah. But again, it's like, if you haven't seen the film, you haven't seen the film. Don't tell me it's not like it if you haven't seen the dang film or you have no idea what they're talking about. That's the whole fake it till you make it, you know. But what happened? Hey, well, we're only meeting up once or twice a month. I think it was like once a month. Great, that'll give me time to write the script, which is a very short script anyway. we'll go and review it. I'll send it out to everybody. Just give me the email list so I can send that to people. Yeah, because it was on, I forget what the app was. I think it was on Meetup.
Meetup?
Is what it was. And I couldn't send out to everybody. I think. I forget how that was set up. Anyways, but I was like, hey, let's go review the script. It'd be great. So we'll have something that we can work on. Oh yeah, I don't know if I can book the same place. It was a public space, by the way. It was like in a library, and we rented out one of the rooms. It was a small. And that was they rented out other small little conference rooms. Oh, I don't think we could do that. Why? We didn't, shut them down or anything like that. Yeah. We'll get to it. 1 month. 2 months.
Oh my
Hey
God.
guys, what's going on? I haven't heard anything. 3 months. Nothing. That dude was all about this. Said all the right things. Hey, it's all about inclusion. Let's all do this together. Yeah? Where did that go? Out the door.
Back to the show, don't tell.
Yeah, back to show, don't tell. That's exactly what
You
your
say
work ethic
words
should
are nice,
be.
but your actions should really show. Sorry.
You're fine. It's your actions will reflect on that specifically. Like, dude, talking the talk is one thing. Actually, that's like it going like, you know what? That mountain, I'm climbing that mountain to the top because I heard there's gold up there, and we're getting the gold. Great. So let's go. All right. Yeah. Let's. We gotta prep though. So make sure that you got everything you need to climb the mountain. Okay, great. Then you show up and it's like, where you at? Deet, deet, deet. Dude, where you at? Voicemail. Nothing. Deet, deet, deet. Hey, I'm here. Where you at? Gone. Like, who wants to work with people like that? A lot of this. And then what? They go do the same thing for someone else so they can, where they can manipulate maybe people that aren't all that versed in film, because there was a variety of filmmakers up there when I went up there.
Where was it?
I'll tell you
north
later.
of here, right?
It was north of here. But yeah, there were a variety of filmmakers, like people that worked in TV, people that worked on in corporate side or commercial side. They were like from all over and varying experiences, even people that were more experienced than I was at that time. And it's like, oh great, I'm gonna see more of people's experience. I'll be exposed to that. Nope, gone. They're all gone. And I think that was around the time that Meetup was changing their policies, and that's why it got shut down.
Is Meetup still a thing?
I have no idea. Because they started charging. It was
they?
weird. Yeah, they started charging people to post and to reply. I'm like,
Wow.
well, this sucks. Like, okay. Then I'm just going to go and everyone moved to Facebook.
Yeah.
To Facebook groups and everything. Now everybody. I can't say everybody's on Clubhouse, but.
Well, that's newer.
It is.
And it's invite only.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit different.
So.
A lot of great vibes on Clubhouse because you actually have to be respectful, and I know that's a whole divergent from that, but people that are actually talking and saying the right things, again, are they okay to work with? I've only heard one person say like, oh, I run through a lot of people. But dude has been in the business for a long time, and he does a lot of shorts and features and TV shows. He was a showrunner, I think. But he's like, yeah, I run through a lot of people because he's the type of person that's like he's putting out a lot of work for other people. Like he'll go out on a limb for you, but if you don't put the work in, he moves on. Crazy. And it's because, again, he's like, because he's going to ask a lot, because that's exactly what it is. Asking a lot of people doesn't mean being a jerk about it, being a butthole about it.
It doesn't mean they're being a butt to you.
Yep. That's a weird misconception.
It goes both ways.
Yeah. Like, people being straightforward does not mean that they're attacking you verbally. Like, I know, because I sound very, I've had people tell me I sound very aggressive when I'm just being straightforward with things.
I had
But
somebody tell me they're scared of you.
yeah, it's weird. I don't know, to me that's weird, because it's like, I can talk to pretty much anybody about anything, alright, but unless I'm actually calling you some derogatory term, I'm not really being a jerk about it. I'm literally just being straightforward. And that's why, again, people with creatives think like, oh, words hurt. You know, it's like, I get that. Like, creatives think like words hurt, and if they're just being being straight about it, and they don't like it, that means they don't like you. That doesn't mean that's not mutually exclusive. That's not the same thing. It's most definitely not the same thing. So, being able to decipher from that and taking yourself out there. If they don't like the project, so what? Like, one of our old teachers, it's funny because it's like, oh man, this dude was like 30 years in the film industry, and he worked on, he executive produced these big feature films, and he's a ball buster, and it's like, I've watched him do it before. He's like, oh, that story, it's crap. Didn't say you were crap. It's crap story. And what? So what? And? But yeah, that dude, hey, he had some good good knowledge on certain things, but a lot of old school knowledge. That was. But again, that just went back to that whole idea of he's being straightforward with it. And again, I came from a military background, so I'm like, dude, I had guys that were being buttholes, to my face, screaming. Just they're really like screaming in your face, a lot of spit flying everywhere, and really just being derogatory to you. That's different than just being straightforward. Okay. One of my let's put it this way. One of my anecdotal ones I like telling. It's like when I was in E3 and I was checking into my unit for the first time, my sergeant, called me in. I'm still learning my job. Well, I went to A school. I knew my job. I was learning the mechanics of working in my unit. So my unit with the rest of the base and how we did that. And this dude calls me in, and he's younger than me. He's younger than me by like I don't know, a few years. And he comes there and he's like, "Get in here!" And I'm like, "Yes, Sergeant." He's like, "What the hell are you doing? You don't do much. You're whatever." And he's doing his thing, and I was like, "Okay, I didn't know. I will. It won't happen again." And he had no idea how to react. Well, good. Get out of my office. Because he didn't know how to react to somebody just being straightforward with him. He's so used to all these young Marines, like these kids right out of high school, going like, "Here's my attitude." Like, like, just give me a reason. And I'm just like, oh, okay, I didn't know. That's just straight up, dude. That's just straightforward. And because of that, his whole bad attitude was like, well, fine, good, just get out of my office. And it got to a point where, we became really good friends. And there was even times where he'd like, he'd yell out my name, like, and I come in like, "Yes, sir." He'd be like, as soon as I came in, he's like, "Shut the door." I was like, "How's it going?" It's like, oh no, it's going good. Just update him for the day. It was
complete change character.
Yeah, complete change of character.
That's
it was
funny.
Really great guy though. Like I said, we don't.
That's definitely a character though for stories.
Yeah. Anyways, but kind of going back to that whole team building, like, it is a lot of trial and error when you're stuck in a situation. That's why corporate world, it's like they hire people based off of not just resume and their experience, but the hiring process. Can you work with us, right? Are you a right fit for us? To see if you can gel with that. And you usually have a probational period for that, right? And it's usually 30 to 90 days, anywhere in between that.
Yeah, usually.
So then they can see whether you're going to be an asset to the team, or if you're just a lot of this. And this stuff can get you in, but if you're not willing to do the work, then why the hell are you there?
Out.
Yeah, you're gonna get booted from that stuff. And it sucks when you're in an environment, especially in film or in a creative aspect, where maybe that person who is a lot of this is the owner of the project, and they're higher up. So when you're going out and try to build your teams, all right, do a lot of trial and error. Go into it if you can find people that are gonna go into it like, hey, I just want to see if I can do this. Give me the chance. We'll review it afterwards. People that are gonna follow through. Then do your after action reports. Not just holding people accountable, but doing your after actions. So I guess that is still holding people accountable. Do your after actions. Hey, yeah, I kind of botched that when I was. This is what I didn't do well. Here's what we all did well. And you do those evaluations for yourself too. Well, this is what I did well, but I needed work on this. And so next time I'm going to really focus on pushing towards this other direction. And that's another thing. It's another tip for you guys there too. If you're trying to do an after action, don't trying to find out the third part of it, what you're going to do next time. Try not to put it in terms of what you're not going to do. Well, I'm not going to do that next time. Try to find an action that is something you're going to do. Because if you keep focusing on what not to do, you're going to do it. Right? You're still in that mindset of doing that action, even if it's not doing that action. You're just driving energy towards that. Well, it's like saying.
What about being late?
Well, okay. I was gonna do another one, but it's like
cool.
So it was like that whole analogy of two kids climb a tree, right? And the parents see, they're like, oh, there's this gust of wind, and one of them says, "Don't fall," while the other parent says, "Hold on tight." Okay. Well, the kid who's thinking, "Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall," is probably gonna fall because they keep thinking fall in that moment, versus the one who's hold on tight. I'm focusing on holding on tight, and then they don't fall and hit themselves from the tree. It's kind of like that, right? That's being late. It's like, okay, well, yeah, like I'm just not
giving you an example, because sometimes you're like, "What? Give me an example." So
yeah.
Think of that.
So, well, even in that aspect, it's like, well, I had trouble with my time management, so I'm just not gonna be late next time, right? That's an example of what I didn't do well and what I'm going to do next time. But you framed it in a way of going, well, I'm not going to do it that way. It's like, no. Instead of, so next time I'm going to wake up earlier and aim to be here 15, 20 minutes prior. That's something you can focus on.
Okay.
Anyway, so that's a lot of stuff. I know we really kind of went off on a lot of anecdotal stuff today. About building your A-team. Hopefully you guys got something out of it. If you got any questions for us, you can comment below. Give us a like. Subscribe to that. If you want to support our channel, you can become a hooligan yourself. Sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/HideHooliganFilms, or buy one of our RPG IRL shirts at thewanderkeltsman.com/shop. The link should be down in the description. Again, go out there, walk the walk, guys. Do what you say you're going to do. You'll find out there's a lot more fulfilling projects and things out in life that you can do just by doing that. Alright, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Have a great rest of your day.